Okay guys, welcome back again to Animator's Laundromat Adventures. So, we're going to be running a second load now, which is going to be these. And the dryer just finished. Okay. The dryer just finished right after I started the stream. Okay, that's kind of funny. So yeah, it's a small load here, but I don't think small will cover it for the water level. So just put that back like that. There we go. So first, before we start up the washer, I'm gonna put these. Oh, they're still a little bit wet. Put it on 15-minute time dry. That's even a thing. Actually, maybe 20 would do. You know what? I'm gonna do it for 30. Come on. There we go. So, see what detergent we have up here. Woolite. Keeps clothes looking like new. I might try out the Woolite here. The Woolite comes from here, by the way. I'll do a cap full. And since it is just seemingly a detergent dispenser, I'll take the cap off of that and just pour that into there. Maybe another capful and a half probably will do. Yeah, good call using that as a detergent dispenser. Yeah, that Woolite stuff is the detergent that we're going to be using for this load. And I'll keep the cap off of the agitator as it runs, so that you guys can see how well it goes into that. Yeah, the reason I'm using it as a detergent dispenser is because of that. It just comes out of there like that, so it's better off as a detergent dispenser rather than a fabric softener dispenser. So we have the cap right here. You could also use that for like powder and stuff. We'll set it here to medium. Warm, cold. Oops. Set it here to permanent press. 6 minutes. Okay, here we go. We didn't even need to turn it that much. I should have just put the dryer on time dry. can see how much better of a detergent dispenser that is, rather than a fabric softener dispenser. Inside the cap of that, because there's a little hole there that makes it just kind of leak out of that. So if we just have that on there while that's running, that will make the detergent mix into the clothes just like that. Actually, maybe since we're using that as a detergent dispenser, we'll put on large load instead. And if that's not enough, we'll put it on super. Because super is the highest you can go. Kind of interesting how they always call the highest setting super. Kind of interesting. Oh yeah, there's also a little hole over there. Harder to see, but the only one you can really see, actually two, that one and that one. I'm gonna try to get a view of the third one. Yep, there it is. I found it. It's just right under that little paddle thing on the agitator. That's not even warm. I'm just putting it on hot water now, just to kind of warm it up a little bit. These ones are actually the ones that give the hot water. These are the ones that actually give you what you need for hot water. But the warm water setting doesn't really do much temperature, it just does it like cold. So it's not really warm, it's more like cold. Okay, I think we can set it back on warm now. I set it on hot for a while, but then I switched it back to warm. Just because it wasn't getting enough heat in the water. Just like last time. I should have done that earlier in the wash stage while it was filling last time. Actually, I wonder, hang on, my hand's a little slippery, there we go. Oh, okay, let's see. I'm gonna get under there. The white plastic part right there. And kind of get the screwdriver in there and push up. I'm just gonna put it back on large so it'll feel more. warm water, but it switches back and forth between warm and cold for some reason, which doesn't really give you the warm water you need. I want to see if it just goes straight into agitation after filling. It does. Okay. I'm putting it on super. Okay. I just got a live highlight. Okay. I just got a live highlight for the stream. Oh, I did have it zoomed in. Whoops. Kind of curious now. Okay, sorry about that. It just exited out of my YouTube app for some reason. What the? Oh, just a box of Evo tiles. Hang on, let me pick that up before I continue. Okay, there we go. And we just reach in there. Get under that plastic part and push that up. That'll pour off the agitator. There we go. And there's our first like of the stream. It's actually more sudsy than the last load, probably because either it's a different detergent or smaller load. Although the reason I put it on super film instead of medium is because I wanted to get all the detergent dispensed in there. told you I can't. I don't want to risk shocking myself doing that. Besides, I'm more right-handed. Okay. So we're doing permanent press. I think it's basically just the same thing as normal on this washer. Okay. So let me show you again here. And I have the light on so I can see. So what I do is I go under the lid here. See that metal part? That's the part that moves when you close the lid. So if you go behind it into that white plastic part there, that's where your switch is going to be. So what you do, if you put your screwdriver in there, and once you're on the verge of that part, you push that up, and there it goes. You let it go, it will stop. Push it in, and it will go. So wait, let me try that trick, just for a short amount of time. So wait. Yeah, I'm not going to do that with my finger, just because I don't want to risk getting shocked. I will do a little tutorial video on how to do it after this. After the stream finishes. And you can't really see the clothes rolling over because it's a small load and a very high wire label. But again, you get really good rollover. I can kind of see some of the clothes at certain points. But again, I had it on the light coil for 6 minutes of washing. Permanent press, you only get 10 and 6. Sure thing, man. Now, I'm not sure if the type of screwdriver applies to that. So next time I come here, I'm going to bring both the small one and the big one. And I'm gonna see if I can try to get that big one to go under there. And if I can't, I'll just use the small one. And just stick my hand in there. Like, oh my god. I got soaked. I got my sleeve soaked in that. Oh my god. I'm gonna put that in the dryer. And actually, I'm gonna set it back up at, actually, I'll set it to 25. That's right in between 30 and 20. So, there we go. So now, let's try this again. Yeah, my sleeve got soaked from that, I think. So, yeah. I might try to do like a challenge stream one day on seeing if I can sud lock this thing, like how I did for the G&W. I might do one for the Mega Washer as well, but we all know it's way too easy to sud lock because of its super aggressive washing action. It's more aggressive than a Whirlpool here. It's more aggressive than one of these Whirlpool machines. Come on. Huh? Oh. I guess the wash stage is finished now, I think. I guess that's why it stopped. I think the wash stage is finished now. Funny thing is, though, if it drains, the first time it drains, it just doesn't spin at all. But if you open the lid, then close it again, then it does the spin drain. And every time after that, which is weird that it doesn't do it the first time, but it does it every time after that. There we go. I'll show you here the tub is moving, the inner drum is moving. You could see the agitator just moving slowly because it doesn't have as much of a load in it as it did before the previous load. It's just easier now to keep... Oh. It's advancing to the spin. It does kind of create a good wave force motion, I'll give it that. But wave force with an agitator. I do admit it does make a good wave force. I might try to make the thing do a wave force one day like that, if I'm able to. Just do that through a spin cycle. Although it kind of already does wave force when it does the spin drain. can see my arm is shaking because that thing is shaking. I can feel some water just getting on me. It already stopped? Okay. I guess the intermediate spin is much quicker on press, probably. Yeah, that does kind of make sense here. I think. Unless maybe... Oh! It does a spin drain on here. Oh! It does a spin drain on here for some reason. On the intermediate spin. Okay. Oh, good, I am in the zone for that. I should have known it would do a spin rinse on the intermediate spin here on permanent press. Another one? I think it just fills for longer if you just do that. I'm gonna hope that's the last one it's doing for that intermediate spin. Okay, here we go. Maybe it's going to do another one. So I'm just going to put my arm on the left side just in case it does. And just let it do that. Oh! I'm assuming it's going to do another spin rinse. Or maybe not. Actually, it's still spinning. I'm going to see if I can get my hoodie out of the dryer now. The hoodie is very hot in there. So it should be nice and dry by now. It actually is, yeah. Okay. Almost completely, but that's okay. Here we go. Come on. Yeah. Maybe it's better off, maybe I'm better off doing it the closed lid way. For now, at least. Actually, that can't harm me while I have my hoodie on. dryer's vent. It can't do anything to me while I have my hoodie on. So what the heck? Let's just do it. Oh my god. I guess it finished the intermediate spin now, which should mean that it's going to go on to the rinse now. I think it's going to. Yep. It's going to be headed to the rinse now. I'm going to run that again while the rinse cycle goes on. Whoops. Come on. There we go. So I figured this out. So that's really more of a detergent dispenser, but once it's on the rinse, you can actually put fabric softener in it, which I probably would if I would have had some, but I don't. I've never known permanent press to do spin rinses on the intermediate spin. Very surprising. I wonder if Delicates does that. But I'll show you here around the knob. For normal, you have extra heavy for 18 minutes, heavy for 14, regular for 10, and light for 6. On permanent press, you only get regular for 10 and light for 6, same as normal. For Delicates, you get regular for 6 and light for 4. So I guess the Delicate cycle is more of a quick cycle or something. I wonder what the agitation is like on that cycle. Here's your waterfall. Kind of cold in here. Good thing I'll have a warm hoodie when it comes out of there. Now I'm wondering, it does count towards the water label? Oh, so the water level actually does count on the rinse cycle as well. I thought so. So yeah, I guess you could just change the water level whenever you want to. So like, you could actually have like a small load fill for the wash cycle, and then like one of these higher settings for the rinse cycle. Or you can have it the other way. You can have a high setting for the wash and a low setting for the rinse. I do like that. I do like the idea of that. But I'm gonna leave it on super. Hey guys, look at it. Oh my god, look at this. Oh, wait. You can actually spin it really fast. The agitator. So yeah, we're filling here for the rinse. As you can see, it's just right by the rinse mark. Very close to it. It's very close to the rinse mark. And again, it's on permanent press, by the way. Which I think permanent press is basically just the same thing as the normal cycle on this washer. Because I'm not really seeing any differences other than it doing a spin rinse on the intermediate spin, which is very surprising. Oh! It is finished filling. So, let's get that screwdriver down in there and bring it in and am I pushing it in? Am I pushing it in right? Oh, there we go. On the outer tub. Get that off. Here we go. Now we're directly on the rinse mark. This thing is basically like a GE Chug Chug. Like if you've seen in the old days the GE Chug Chug washers, like they have these dual action agitators that work exactly like that. Like, 1 second, I'll take the cap off so I can show you. Oh, the dryer is finished. See how that's moving back and forth? I realized that's just like the GE Chug Chug washers back from those old days. I think Kiernan has one of those GE Chug Chug washers. Wash the washer, pause the washer when it starts draining and wait 3 seconds and start again. It does a spin drain. Yeah, I've done it before. I actually just discovered that today. Yeah, back to the timings of those GE Chug Chug washers. Those were actually the good ones. That was from back when GE actually made their stuff. But now they don't make their stuff anymore. They don't make their stuff anymore. They're made by Haier. GE Appliances is now made by Haier as of 2016. So yeah, if you wait like 3 seconds or more, from what I heard, it actually does a drain if it's draining. Oh, seems to be on the end of the rinse mark. Yeah, it's just past it now. I'm predicting it's going to do 2 spin rinses again, probably. Like what it did on the intermediate spin. And also, I don't like the quality of those still remaining studs in there. I mean, it's not a lot, but still. I just hope the spin rinses can cover that. Because there is no option for an extra rinse on this machine. You only get 1 rinse and 1 full cycle. That's how a lot of the old machines were. Back when they didn't have the extra rinse option. Now we have a lot of newer ones that do have the extra rinse option. So let's get back in there. Let's get back into there. Here we go. I've done the spin drain before. We're going to do the sudden burst of, yep. Actually, it's not even 3 seconds. Like, if you just release it and then immediately put it back in, it will still do the spin drain. I'm just putting my hand here on the left side in case it decides to do spin rinses. Also, you might notice something. When it drains like that, it just jolted itself. They usually do that when they launch into drain. Also, hang on, let me get it up to a good speed again. Again, if you do it like that, and then stop it like that, it makes it look like a wave force, kind of. It kind of makes it look like a wave force. Oh, I guess it stopped to do a spin rinse, I think. Yep. I knew it. I really like how these machines, how these old machines actually do that spin rinse. I'm gonna bet it's, yep, right before I could even say it. I think it's just about directly on the spin mark now. Come on. I hate how it does that. Tell me it's gonna be over soon. I'm gonna check really quick actually. It's still directly on the spin mark. But at least now I can't do any more spin rinses because it's directly on the spin mark. And these things don't usually do spin rinses once they're past the spin mark and on the spin mark. So, like, once they actually get to the spin mark, that's when they can no longer do spin rinses. That's another thing I discovered on this machine. And I'm assuming it does that on all Whirlpool machines. Although that one's an Estate made by Whirlpool. But still, it is technically a Whirlpool. I wonder if there were any Maytags that had that kind of thing. Because Whirlpool makes Maytags since 2006, so I think there might be some Maytags that do that. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that. Okay. It just clicked. We're getting close to the end now, I think. Yeah, very much. think that's like 600 to like 700 RPM. Possibly 800, I'm not sure. Come on. We're almost there. We can make it. I just know it. Yep, there's the end. Okay. So, there's the end of permanent press. And all of these are nice and dry. But before we actually dry those clothes in the washer, meaning the clothes that are in the washer, I'm just gonna, oh wait, that wasn't the same hoodie. That was a different hoodie that I put on. No wonder it was so dry. Okay. So, those dry clothes can go back in the hamper now. Something in there. Oh yeah, that. So let's see. I'll check the filter, the lint filter. It has the old style lint filter on it, which is really cool. Whoa! That is a lot of lint. That's the old style lint filter I'm talking about, the one that comes out the top. Those dryers I would not recommend stacking, especially on top of a toddler, because you won't be able to access your washer then, or the lint filter on your dryer. So, I just got out all that lint. Yep, so now we can put that filter back in there, although there's still some lint trapped in there. So there you go. Let's say we put it on time dry for about 15 minutes. I just set it to 20, but I'm just going to do it for 7. Actually, 6. Right, I need to do my trick. Come on. Here we go. I just had my hoodie in there just because it got wet from the water inlet on the washer. It still turns on and off on time dry? That's surprising. The heater, I mean, in the back. Oh, there goes the heater again. And off. Yeah, that thing turns on and off for some reason on every mode. Okay. So now, that should be dry enough. So, put it on 30 minutes now, and get the other load in from the washer. I think that's everything. Yeah. Oh. There goes the heater again. That's good. It's kind of fun just doing it like that. Huh? What am I seeing? Okay, I'm gonna end now. Remember, if you have any questions,